So this video is about doing the calendar in the front here. Okay, I've already done mine. I'm going to show you on a separate book. But when I do these books, I do these a lot, most months, and I like that book. But when I do these books, I do these a lot, most months, and I like to have a calendar in there. This one I've just called my April isolation diary, and I've done it, and then I'm just going to put, I don't know, I'm just going to put something in for every day that we're in isolation, really. So this is why it's good to use this if you... to use the checkered one, because you can use the lines. But if you've got the dot ones, you can do that. Otherwise, you're just going to have to measure. You're just going to have to measure it, and then you're just going to have to come up with some different bits. But on here, my little boxes are actually 6 squares. So there's 6 squares in and there's 6 up. So the 6 by 6, the little ones there. And I always start from the bottom. And the first thing that you have to do is find out how many weeks there are. And everybody has a phone which shows them the calendar. I can't show you mine because obviously I'm filming on it. But everybody has a phone, and some weeks, occasionally there are 6. Occasionally there's one up here or there's one down here. So you just have to watch that. Also, in Europe, we start the day on a Monday, but I know in America and some other countries, a lot of you start the day on a Sunday, which I have to say, I do find that rather weird because this is the weekend. So I find it very strange that it starts here, and it's caught me out a few times. So just take note that mine starts on a Monday. So if you were starting on a Sunday, you would have one less day here and you would have an extra day down here. Okay, so that's the first thing that you need to do. And then I'm just working it. I'm going from the middle because it's just easier to show you. I'm just going to pop that there. And you know, if you get this wrong, just stick something over the top of it. The number of times that I've done this and got the dates wrong, it doesn't really matter. So I always use a pencil at first. I'm really into these black wings, and these are the special edition. These are the Palomas. And if you like the black wings, you've got to get pencil guards. These are great because they stop these breaking in your pencil cases. So everything's done in pencil first. Now, you can do it however you want, but this is how I like to do it. I like to leave one line, one square here at the bottom, and then I'm going to go up 6 squares and repeat. And I'm going to do it 5 times because this month, April, has got 5 weeks in it. So I'm going to come, that's 4, and here's the 5th one. Okay, and then what I do is I come from this side. These have different, depending where you are in your book, this check will be different, okay? Because look, can you see the way the pages go here? So these pages at the back will have an extra square. Practically, you'll have more on. So I just count in. So I'm going to count in 6 from this end, okay? And then I'm just going to go up 2. You'll see why in a minute. And I'm going to count in the 6. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, then I turn the book around and I'm going to come in 6 from this way. So this is Sunday, Saturday and Friday. And then this is going to be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Where's 6? There we go. And then whatever's left becomes my Thursday. Okay, so there's Monday, there's Tuesday, there's Wednesday, there's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and what 11 is left here. And sometimes it's larger. So for example, this is at the beginning of the book, and can you see here it's larger, but here it's smaller. It doesn't really matter. So I've got that, and then you need to find out what day does your week start on. So my week starts, it's a Wednesday. The 1st is a Wednesday. So I'm going to come over here. I missed that line there. Okay, and it ends on a Thursday. So this is where my week ends. So then I'm going to rub out any lines that I don't need. So anything after the Thursday at the bottom and anything before the Wednesday here, I am just going to rub out, okay? And then I always do a little extra on the top. Can you see? I've got 2 lines there so I can put the dates in. So I need 2 lines here as well for the Monday, Tuesday. And then I need to rub out this. You'll see when I go over it. Am I ever tempted to do this in pen? Yes. Is that when it normally goes wrong? Yes, always. So I usually do it in pencil first and then I go over it. So I'm going to take, I'm not sure, does that work? Yeah. I'm going to take a black pen and then I'm just going to draw the lines in. Now just be careful when you're drawing the lines in, because if your pen is really juicy, as you move the ruler, it will smudge. So can you see where I'm lifting it up rather than sliding it? Just do that one again. Of course, I've probably picked a pen that's about to run out, because that always happens. Does it always happen to you? All my pens will work till I come to demo with them. This might be running out actually. If it does, I've got a Posca on the side there. I can use that. So I'm going across. You can probably speed this bit up. Remember, I'm doing these videos on my own, so you have to excuse the quality of them. I'm used to having the girls. They set it up, they do it all, they edit them, etc. Oh, it is running out. Let me just try that again. Oops. Okay, and then we'll draw the lines down here. And you could have decorated this page first if you wanted to, but I'm just going to show you a way that I quite often do it using my inks. Oh, missed a bit down there. I don't often use my inks in this book because the Dyalogs have just 1 row of stitching. Can you see this stitching in the middle? It goes right through the book. So they only have the 1 signature, and if you get that signature too wet, it's going to break, and then if it breaks, your whole book is going to come apart. So I don't often use inks at all. I occasionally use bits of, what's in this one? This is just one at the side waiting to be finished off. I think there's some shimmer in here. Yeah, there we go. I occasionally use a bit of shimmer, and I'll add a little bit of shimmer over the top, but mainly I tend to use paints. Okay, so there we go. I've set that out. Then what I'm going to do is, if you're going to colour it like I do, I usually do that first. Now, when you're colouring in a big area like this, it's really difficult to get it very neat. So I'm just going to go show you a trick how to neaten that up, okay? I chose the colours of the paints that I've used in the book. These are the colours of the paints that I used. I used Desert Sand, oh gosh, raspberry, and I used Pink Flamingo, sorry, and Fiery Red, and then I've also Fiery Sunset. I can't even remember the colours of it. I'm so sorry. And then I used Island Parrot. How bad is this that I can't remember them? Blue Lagoon. I'm just having a blip, I'm sorry. And this is Balmy Nights. Now, Balmy Nights, this is how it looks normally. Okay, so that's quite dark. That would be quite dark for what I'm doing. So if you ever see me with one of these water brushes with tape round, it means I've watered it down a little. There you go. Can you see the difference between the two? So these are the Tim Holtz water brush, and people ask me all the time, why haven't you got your own water brush? Why don't you use another water brush? Because there is no other water brush that's a patch, anywhere a patch on here at all. I'm just looking to see if I've got a pipette, because, yeah, no? Oh, I thought I had a pipette. because what you do is you take a pipette and you suck up the ink out of the bottle. No, I don't have one. And then you just unscrew these and you take this out and you put the ink in there. And they're normally full strength, except I have the odd ones that are sort of half strength, and I usually can tell that because it's got a piece of washi tape round, okay? And mine don't have labels on because I know what colours they are. If you haven't got these, don't waste your money on cheaper brushes. I've never found any that work nicely. Just get yourself a little paintbrush, smaller one than that really. Get yourself a little paintbrush, spritz some ink on your mat, pick it up off the mat and paint with it like that, okay? So again, you could probably speed this up a bit really. I usually just check there's some coming out, and then I'm just going to do along here first. And I'm not particularly neat as usual. You can take your time, but it's very rare that I do. If you notice, I usually just outline first and then I fill in. So you can see, because ink dries quickly, this is going to dry really, really blotchy. So it's a trick that I do all the time. Okay, so I've done the bottom and I'm just going to do the top as well. I never worry about trying to make it neat, because with a big area like this you're not going to. So I'm going to come across the bottom like so, fill that in. I have got the bigger brushes as well. There's some that I've got a flat, and I have to admit I usually would use this, but I know most of you don't have those. You just have the these fine point ones. And again, you could use whatever you wanted. You could have painted this first. You could use colours. I just want to show you how I normally do it. If I was teaching this class, this is what I would be teaching you to do. Okay, just squeeze through a bit more. There we go. So that's the first one done. And then what I normally do is I normally pick a square, say this square, and I choose a colour, and then I go down in a diagonal. And I know that I'm using 4 colours for this. So I think I'm going to start with the green this time. So I'm going to fill in the green in this square. And then I'm going to go down and across one. And again, you could do them all one colour, you could have them coordinating, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to have them go down and across. And because I know that I'm using 4 colours, every 4th square is going to be green. So there's this one, then the 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one is going to be. So then if I go back from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, this one will be Island Parrot as well. You could make it simple. You could just have 2 colours if you want, but you know what I'm like. So there we go. So there's the first colour, and then let's go in with the raspberry. And again, now this is when you can maybe speed it up. It's up to you. But I go, so I'm going next to the green. So everything next to the green is going to be in the pink flamingo. And again, you can see where I've gone over slightly. It doesn't bother me. So here, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. So it's going to be in here. And then I go down again. I just need to squeeze, that's it. Squeeze some more ink. And you'll see why I use ink in a minute, and why I'm not bothered whether it's neat or not. There we go. So let's have the grey. You see, because this is watered down, it gives you that lovely soft. Oops, I'm just going to squeeze it. There we go. Someone's coming out now. Sometimes they get a little bit blocked. Sometimes they'll just gush, usually when I've got off a plane, because that's air pressure. And they just gush away, but then it's this one. If you get it wrong, it doesn't matter. Somebody, a few classes that I had just before we finished and we went into the lockdown, somebody said, I love it because all you say all the time is it doesn't matter. And you know what? That's because it doesn't matter. It's quite simple, really. What matters? We stay safe, you know, stay home, save your country. Your artwork should just be fun. It shouldn't be any pressure on there. Okay, so I'm going to finish off. Anything that's left is going to be orange. Fiery sunset. Look at that, I can remember the names of my colours now. And I can always neaten up these edges later if I want to. I don't often, but if I wanted to, I could. There we go. And then I'm going to use the desert sand. And I'm just going to fill in. This is where the days of the week are going. Okay, so there we are. All coloured, and you can see, look how messy it is. But it doesn't matter, because what we're going to do is I'm going to take a water bottle. And this is one of the first things the wonderful master of everything, Tim Holtz, taught me to do. Okay, I'm going to stand up for this. But so what you do is you spritz water into your hand. So you make like a puddle and then you just flick down. You don't dump like this, you flick down. And then you add some more and you're just going to flick this. And he always did this with his distress inks. Okay, so you fill that. Just going to dry my hand a bit. And then you get yourself some kitchen roll and you scrunch it up. And then you just blot. Look at that. How gorgeous is that? Let me just wipe. Gets a little bit messy. Now look, how beautiful is that? So instead of a mess, you get this gorgeous, gorgeous background. Oh, we've come to the end. Just the end of my kitchen roll, don't worry. So you get this gorgeous, gorgeous background there, which is just stunning. So then what I'm going to use, I'm going to bring in my black archival ink pad, or you could use my diary ink, my little black diary ink. And then here are the, these are the Dyalog stamps. So these are the different ones, specially made for using in the Dyalog. And the ones that I'm going to use this one. This has got the months on and it's also got the days of the week. And then I'm going to use this one, which has got different numbers. But just while I'm on, actually, just let me tell you, you see the ones that are like this, they will actually fit in every other grid. These are all sized properly, so they will fit in every other grid, or if you're a bullet journaler and you use the dots, they'll fit in every other dot as well. So there we go. And they come like this, on the clear backing. I usually keep them on the backing as well. And normally I would tell you to ink the stamp, but on this one we're going to put the stamp in the ink pad, it's easier. So I'm just going to take, I start at the back, so I'm going to start off with the Monday. And if you notice, I put them on backwards so that when I do this, they're the right way up. So there's my Monday. I just press it off onto there. As my Tuesday. Remember, if you know, you might be starting with a Sunday, and again, these will fit even if you actually, I've left 2 squares, but if you just left 1 square, these would fit in there as well. And they're done in my writing. And again, if you want to write it, if you don't have these, you can write it in yourself, but they just save me so much time. Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday. And I'm just blotting them off onto some kitchen roll. to take the ink off. Okay, so there we go. We've got the days of the week in there. Pop those away. Look how tidy I am. I have to put everything away all the time. And then we're going to do the numbers. And on this little set here, there's 3 different sizes of numbers. There's the small size here, there's a medium, and then there's the large. I used the large one in here, if you can see. But you could, I think I'll use the medium just for something different, but I used the large there. So I'm going to go with the medium here. And what I do with this is I start with the 1. Again, pop them upside down, and then I'll stamp number, oh, it's a bit wonky. There we go. I'll stamp number 1 because it starts with the number 1. And then what I do is I go through and I stamp everything with the number 1. So I'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'll stamp the 1 of the 10. I'll stamp 11. I'll stamp 12. And to me, this is really obvious, but I know when I'm teaching this to a lot of people, it's not. So, and they take these numbers on, off, on, off, on, off. So I just thought I would mention it. So that's 19. This is 20. This is on, off, on, off, on, off. So I just thought I would mention it. So that's 19. This is 20. This is 21. So leave room for the 2. Pop the 1 in. And I think that's it, because there's only 30 days in April. So once you've done with the 1, then we're going to start with the 2. So I'm just going to put number 2, number 12, number 20. Now I put the 2 in for 21. So 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. This is when you think, oh, have I done it right? But luckily the numbers are there. I think February caught everybody out with the extra date in. So now I can put, 23, I can put the 30. And now I'm just going to go through the numbers and put number 4, number 14, number 24, and you'll just work through them like that. But you can see, upside down. You can see it's much quicker to do. If you put it on the block upside down, every time you turn your block over to stamp, it will be the right way up. Now, you can see where this is curling. This is because I've only inked one side of a page. So the paper is trying to pull away. Once you've shut your book, it will just sit happily on its own. So don't worry, it won't stay curly like this. And I only did this one this morning, and I did this one, filmed the whole thing, and the camera wasn't on, the video wasn't on, so there you go. So I had to do it again. Oh dear me, I'm not used to this malarkey. I just like to show up, do my job. I'm not used to having to organise it all and things as well, but it's amazing what we can do when we have to, isn't it? 17, 27. So I've got the 8. The number 1 is jumping. Just be careful with your number 1s because it's the most used one of all the sizes, and it's the one that you will lose first. And people say to me all the time, can we just buy the number 1? No. If I, every class I do, at least 2 people lose a number 1, and I have to buy 2 more sets. So once it's gone, it's gone. So there we go. We've got right up to number 9, and then where's the nought gone here? So we're going to put this for number 10, number 20, and number 30. So you see, that was really quick and simple to do. All you have to be able to do is count. Okay, so pop that back on there. I always make sure they're all there. Take my plastic, put it on the top. If you put the plastic back on, it just gives it that extra bit of protection, and then they're all they're all in there, okay? And then for the April, where I wrote April at the top, these are the old diary sets. Look how battered my sets are. The ones I use the most when I'm doing my diary are on the lid. This is the archival storage tin, and my my diary stamp sets fit in here, but the ones I use all the time, I just stick them there out the way. So let's have a look what we're looking for April. So here we go. I've got the April there. Here's the small block. Again, put it on back to front. Ink it up. This is a bit bigger, so make sure it's well inked up. And then I'm just going to stamp April there. Okay, now I don't go through and mark all the pages because I never know if I'm going to do 1 page or 2 pages. So these pages aren't marked at all in there. What I did do, though, was I actually wrote isolation across here. So I wrote I can't do it on this one yet because this one is still a bit damp. You have to be very careful. I can try it because if my pen, let me use a Posca. I don't want to break my pen. I can use a Posca, but normally you would need to wait a bit longer. So I'm just going to write my there and put some, so there's the my. And then to do the isolation, you know, work it out. Like here, I worked out with the letters. You can do, sometimes I'll just do it in pencil first, and then I stopped every letter 1 cube up from the actual calendar. I don't know if you can see, so I've left 1 line there. And this is how I do my letters. I draw them first, I do the scaffold, and then I fill them in. So then down here I wrote diary. I'm going to leave 1 from there and 1 from the bottom. So I'm just going to write diary. Now, this is writing fine, but that doesn't mean it is fine. Quite often when you write on ink that's not completely dry, your pen will stop working later. So I'm not going to push my luck and colour it in. And then if you're concerned about your edges, you could always go over it again with a pen, but I'm not. So there we go. There is your diary, your isolation diary, or whatever it is you want. I'm just going to put like the days in isolation that are in here. And if you have, that's the large letters, that's the smaller letters. Normally I would probably use smaller letters in here because then I can write, and this is where I would normally write my appointments and different things. Again, I can't show you them. All the dialogues, would you believe, are at Ranger because I was supposed to be back there now, and I was supposed to be doing back-to-back, and then I was going to Creative Escape in Los Gatos, and I was teaching the dialogue. So all my finished dialogue samples, of which I have many, are all in my tubs at Ranger, and they were going out there. So we're just blind with this one, but I had lots of samples of things like this as well. So that's it. That's your 4th video done. So we had 2 videos done on the background. One was the gel plates, one was the doodling. The second one was adding in black elements. It was adding borders, etc. So there was 2. So there was a video for that. What do we do? 1 video. What else have I done? Is that it? Yeah, and then 1 video with this. So there's 4 videos all together for you to watch. You don't have to have done them all by the time April the 1st comes round. You just need to have done a page ready to put something on. So this might be your April the 1st. I'm fixated on February. This might be April the 1st, or this one might be April the 1st. I think this is going to be my April the 1st. And then every day you'll see I'll either do a live or a video or a blog post or something, and we'll go through and we'll do every single day that we're in isolation for however it lasts. Okay, see you on April the 1st.